Hey guys, Dr. Michael Tang here, physiotherapist. Welcome back to another episode of the Jump Higher series. We are on episode 5 today. This is the episode following my knee injury from the previous episode. If you haven't watched the previous episode, I'll put the link up over here. But anyways, it's just going to be a whole timeline of a couple months worth of time. I'm not going to lie, I kind of just got lazy on editing and I kind of have all the videos all in one. So this is going to be a longer video than what my normal ones are. And we got some milestones today, we got some highs, we got some lows. We got it all today. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So starting back after injury, I think it was the smartest idea to start up the weights with a little bit of caution because, well, my knee was feeling good, but I didn't know how it was going to react under some heavier weights. So prior to getting injured, I was doing 185, 195, and even 95 here felt a little rough. Technique definitely was not there. But I did get more comfortable, so then we started moving up to 135 here, and then even a little bit more to about 175. I really didn't go too much heavier just because it was a little rough. And then jump squats were the same thing. You can actually see my hips shake a bit. I just couldn't take the weight as easily as I did before I got injured. And now moving on to trap bar deadlifts, I obviously got weaker. I normally do 3 plates or so, but 275 here was already pretty tough. I wanted to make sure that I was doing well, grooving, no pain in the knees, and that's really what the goal was. So since the knees were feeling pretty good, I decided I was going to add a little bit more explosive work in the form of jumps. And here I'm doing some split leg jumps where I'm jumping as high as I can, alternating my legs each one. If you haven't tried it before, these are pretty tough. And as I said before, it's only because my knees were feeling good is why I was doing them. I wouldn't recommend it if you were having any knee pains at all. So here are some clips of me warming up and practicing some jumps after I hurt my knee. I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at some of these old video clips and these were taken before pandemic has started. So I'm getting a little jealous and a little nostalgia of seeing how I could go into the basketball gym and have no problems, but nowadays, the gyms are filled with all the cardio equipment and everybody's spaced out 6 feet apart, social distancing wise. But here, open gym, get to practice jumps, practicing technique, and it's still kind of flawed. Another day, another workout. In this workout, I'm going to be focusing on the explosion portion. I haven't shown this particular exercise before. It's med ball throws against the floor, and the focus is on triple extension and throwing it into the floor as hard as I can, about like 5 reps or so. And then also another set of split leg jumps. I would say that these are feeling a little bit better, and yeah, nothing new here. Just training hard. It's around this time where I really started to focus in on my approach when going towards the basket. In this case, I was going to go a right-left because I wanted to dunk with the right hand. If you want to go with the left, you go with a left-right just because it's a little bit more solid. It's not the most solid, and I really felt a ton of struggle. It didn't feel super comfortable, but just like anything else, you got to practice it. And yeah, these are some clips of me practicing it. And just when I was finally getting a little bit of a hang of it, alright, getting back to business. Since pandemic hit, desperate times call for desperate measures. So your boy picked up a basketball hoop for the house. I had my brother as well as one of the family friends come over, and we're all kind of practicing to dunk on this thing. Now, the luxury of having a basketball hoop at home is I can practice whenever, and also I can change the height of the basket, so I can practice on the lower rim. Here I'm practicing on 9.5 and it's looking rough. Part of it is just because my footwork's really bad and I really couldn't understand the spacing. Even here I'm trying to do a drop step and it's like I have enough height for it, but I just couldn't get it to go. But the Fortunately, during this time, the weather was pretty good, so I was able to practice a fair amount, maybe a couple times a week, maybe 2-3 times a week. And sometimes I'd be practicing by myself, and sometimes I would have my brother and the family friend coming out. And you can see in some of these clips, we even got some fans out here, got the parents just hanging out in the lawn chairs. We're just kind of, you know, enjoying the weather, social distancing, of course, and we're just practicing. And even here you could see that I could just kind of stand there and get it off straight vert, yet when I go ahead and add some speed to it, I jump actually even less high. So yeah, it's really a technique thing. I got the power, just don't get the technique. And we got good lobs like that out there. 9.5 really was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. But watching back on these videos, it was a good idea to take a look at the technique, especially when the rim is lower and I know I can jump that high. You see, I can't even catch my balance after I go and jump for the rim there. Since the gyms were closed because of pandemic, I decided I was going to go to my local community basketball court. You can even see here on the basketball court, they took off the rim, so I couldn't practice jumping for like reaching, but I did want the rim to be there so that I can kind of have a sense of positioning while looking at the different lines on the floor for it. Here it's just a typical warm-up, something that I would do before any type of plyometric work. I wanted to bring this up specifically because I see a lot of people will do static stretches before they go and do something explosive, and it's really not the best way to go about it, since really a warm-up should be something to prime yourself to do whatever activity you want to do. And since my activity requires that I go from a very slow speed to a very fast speed, I warm up in that fashion, right? I warm up where I go from slow to fast and then slowly ramp up the speed to go faster. Me static stretching really won't make me go any faster, and it kind of doesn't make sense and is a little outdated. Other than making sure that the muscles are nice and warm to get going, it also makes sense to warm up the joints. So just some trial runs here to practice my technique since it's my weakest point, and that's just what I'm doing here. But funny enough, after that I didn't actually feel that good, so I decided to go into the field and do some power skips here. I like doing this particular exercise in the field instead of the concrete floor because it's a little bit softer on my knees and it feels a little bit nicer. When I'm doing this exercise, I'm really trying to jump as high as I can and as quick as I can. And on another day, we set the rim a little bit lower, 8 feet, just to make sure we warm up properly and practice. I want to bring attention specifically to jumping styles. For myself, I would consider myself to be more of a power type of jumper, not much finesse going on. And Junior over here, the guy in the black, he has probably the best technique out of both of us. He's got a combination of power and finesse, as you can see here. My brother in the orange there, he's got the most finesse out of all of us, but probably lacks the most power. And he can do 1-foot jumps even better than his 2-foot. Yeah, and as we continue to warm up, we're making the rim a little bit higher each time. I'm sitting every once in a while just to make sure I'm good to go. And especially when it's a lower rim height, we can try different things because the margin of error is just greater. Even there, I have the height, yet my technique just looks poor at best. It's just really no other way to get around it. But this is the best time to take a look at it since the rim is low and, you know, and now we got some practice dunks from the rest of the party, as well as the obligatory gassing each other up, because why not? It's a struggle for everybody out here. For me, I didn't feel like I was warmed up enough, so I was doing sprints on the street. You can see there. My brother and Junior were just continuing to practice dunks as we slowly raise the rim higher and higher.
That was too high. Oh god damn!
So after finally warming up on all the 9 feet and 9.5 feet, we finally move it up to 10, and you know, I'm actually getting pretty close here. You know, it's bouncing off the top. Just really need one good jump. And, you know, I don't want to spoil it, but just kind of look what happens. Hey, two-hander. We finally got it on this excellent day. The June 5th of 2020 finally happened, very barely. And, you know, it was my pride and joy. I went for a victory lap right there. Just all good things. Here's a quick replay of it. Ah, the pride and joy. So it's awesome that I got on video. My brother was able to see it, but really nobody else was able to see it. I tried to do it again, and it just didn't happen. It was so sad. And, you know, with all good things must come to an end, unfortunately. You'll see in the next clip, adrenaline wore off, and your boy hurt his back. I was out of commission, to the point where I had to lie down like I am right there, and just flat side to side because I really couldn't even stand anymore. I got super hype and pain, just pain. And yeah, I was lying there for maybe about 10-15 minutes, just like that, side to side. Everybody's just doing their own thing. They're like, I don't got no time to worry about you. That's just me right there. Yep, the tragedy. Finally get up, go for it. I'm like, oh, maybe I should go for a jump. And as soon as I got up, I thought, yeah, no, that's probably not gonna happen. So yeah, the amazing high point of the day ended with a amazing low point of the day. So after about like 2 weeks or so of just resting, I got back to training, or at least good enough where I felt like I could train. And still more stuff at the house here, some single leg jumping. I noticed that my ankle is still a weak point, so I was really trying to focus on single leg jumping. I'm not gonna lie, it feels pretty awkward, but I gotta work on my weaknesses if I really want to continue to get higher and higher. One of the things that I noticed was after I hit that one jump, that really was my max attempt, and so I could not get another one. That's really not gonna fly in the real world in terms of playing in a game. It's cool for like a video here and there, but you know, we're really trying to get it so that we can use it in a game other than just a video. Some of the exercises that I'm doing here are actually from a jump program that my brother had bought. I was giving it a try just to see, you know, how it would work for me. I can confidently say after spending about maybe 5-6 weeks on it, it really was not effective enough for me. The stimulus in it is just not enough when I'm so used to training with weights. This was pretty good for my technique though, because I did feel like my approach was a little bit better, but overall to generate the power it wasn't enough. But I did integrate some different things, such as this particular exercise here, where we're doing a bridge and it's a single leg bridge, and this is particularly taxing for the glutes as well as the hamstrings. I will admit I really don't spend enough time doing some isometric work, and this is incredibly helpful to reduce the potential for injuries. Isometric and eccentric exercises are best for that particular task. It really doesn't get you to jump any higher, but it will make it so that when you come down from that jump, you don't get hurt, which I've been doing pretty often, pretty much after every single high jump that I can. These are just some of my clips that I was trying to do a max jump after I hurt my back. I'm jumping to about the same height, but I'm not gonna lie, it just didn't feel as clean. So I really didn't try for dunks or anything like that. And yeah, I don't know how else to explain it. The stimulus of not going to the gym for a bit made it so that I was actually jumping less high than I did before. You'll even see here, I just completely botched the thing. The ball gets caught in the rim, get owned by the rim there, and again, same thing. I really tried for that one. So if that's not enough motivation to not get injured, I don't know what is, you know? Getting injured sucks, but it's part of the process, unfortunately. Fast forward like maybe about a month or two later, the gym opens back up, so I'm ready to go back in there to train. Same thing, warming up with a little bit more speed. I decided I was going to do some sprints type of thing, just to make sure that I'm all warmed up and ready to go. I also was able to find a nice open area at the gym where the turf, and so I was practicing max jumps there just because it's a little bit nicer on my knees. Sucks that I couldn't get the right angle here, but you know, when you're recording it, you don't always know. What I will say is that the ceiling is about 10.5, and I was touching it maybe every 3 or 4 jumps. Now we're back to some clips of the weight room. I was thinking, since I was able to achieve my goal, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue to make some regular episodes just like this one. Obviously, I am by no means jumping super high, but technically I have reached my goal. So moving into the future, I'm thinking about maybe doing some follow-up highlight videos as opposed to vlog style videos. Videos of me lifting and training is just going to be the same thing over and over again. So for those who follow my journey, thank you for watching. Give a like if you enjoyed the content, comment below if you got some questions to ask, and subscribe to be up to date with all the new releases. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Because you're timing it. There it is! There it is!